Thank you for joining us for the Cultivate OKC podcast. This podcast is a product of the Cultivate Venture Accelerator. The accelerator was created to equip entrepreneurs, for-profit and nonprofit, to build redemptive cultures in their community, to move founders from being the owners of their ventures to the stewards, because we want to see Oklahoma City become a place where everyone is flourishing, every industry, every culture, and every neighborhood, because we are committed to the whole person, reaching their whole potential to care for the whole city. Let's jump in. My name is Tracy Zerden. I'm a part of the Cultivate team, but I am also an entrepreneur myself. I'm a co-founder of a SaaS platform that processes sponsorship requests for small to mid-sized businesses called Made Possible By. But when I was asked to be a part of the Cultivate team, I jumped on that train because I love working with people who want to make a difference, not just make a buck. And we have to make a buck, right? If you don't have margin, you don't have ministry, you don't have a way to help your community, but we also just want to focus on making a difference in our community. And joining with me today is my partner in crime, Miss Natanya Renke. She is our Director of Operations for Cultivate. She is a newlywed, she is a pickleball enthusiast, and she is a tech genius. She can make all of our technology, whether we like the piece of technology we're using at the moment or not, she can make it do what we want it to do. So Natanya, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
You guys going to play pickleball this weekend?
Oh, I don't know. We're going to watch my sister run a 5K though. So she might wish she was playing pickleball, but we'll see.
That's true. That's true. Well, you're watching her run, so then you can go home and maybe play later.
Yeah.
Is she excited? Has she been training? Or she's so young, she doesn't really have to train?
She was training.
Really?
I don't know about
Good
now.
Good for her. I mean, a 5K isn't crazy long, but
No.
it's still a race. Does she enjoy running?
She has learned to now. She's doing it. It's like a city mission thing called Colton's Run. And so it's for a specific charity that they do. So she likes more being a part of that, more so I think than the running. So
yes, because you were a runner in high school. Was she?
She was as well. All of us were runners in high school. So the anxiety of the starting line, we all understand it.
You all understand that. Okay, nice. Yeah, I was not a runner.
That's okay. Your joints
and I'm okay with
you.
that. Yes, no, my joints are already in pain. No, I have to take turmeric every day because when I do yoga, my body hurts. So, but that's okay. I'm getting my motion in a different way.
There you go.
There you go. So our guest today is Connor Sikes, and he started his career in Dallas working in financial services, but he returned to Oklahoma City to expand his family business. In his free time, he enjoys traveling and playing golf and spending time with his wife, Allie, and their dogs. We need to hear more about those dogs, Connor. The family business that he is now running is called Premier Blinds out of Edmond. They provide shades, shutters, draperies, and garage floor coatings to builders, contractors, designers, and individual customers. They place a heavy emphasis on client service and their ability to execute even the most complex jobs. Connor, you're going to have to tell us about that because you can't show the pictures that you usually show, but he's got like big old cranes and stuff to be able to get those high windows. So Connor, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Unfortunately can't have the photos on the podcast.
No,
but
that's okay.
I'll do my best to paint a good word picture for us. So yeah, absolutely. Okay. Thanks for having me.
Sure. So tell us about your dogs first. How many dogs and what kind?
Oh, we've got two dogs. We've got a big one. That's Francie. She is a Bernedoodle, like biggest, dumbest, sweetest dog you've ever seen in your life. We joke that the only intelligence she has is anything that ends up with getting her some more food or treats or something. That's what it all comes back to. And then we've got Mabel, who's the smaller one. She's a mutt. We we say she's an Australian cattle dog, but we think she's actually a pit bull. So
Oh.
we're gonna, I think I just shared out some dirty laundry, but you know, hopefully no one cares too much. But she's a sweet thing too. So yeah,
Okay.
we enjoy them, but it's a good time. It's a good time.
So you live in a house full of women. Even your dogs are women.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The wife, I'm definitely outnumbered. We're gonna have to start changing that soon.
There you go.
So we'll see.
So
We'll see.
do you like, clearly you like the poodle combinations. I have never been able to embrace the poodle breed. There's just something about them. I think my grandmother had one when I was little, and I think it was
Yeah,
kind of like a diva. But I'm sure the breeds, I mean, the best dogs are the mutts anyways, in my opinion, because you're not just all one thing. Um,
yeah.
but I don't know.
Yeah, I think there is a little bit of diva to her. She's kind of standoffish, a little skittish, but she really loves us. So, that kind of cancels everything else out. I'm like, yeah, you can be a diva to everyone else, but if you like me, it's cool.
There you
It's
go.
cool.
There you
So,
go. Do you is it okay to ask if you have a favorite between dogs? I know you can't ask that about children, but
ooh. I think it honestly depends on the day. Depends on the day. Sometimes one is a little rambunctious and the other one is super laid back. So it's whichever one isn't destroying the house that day.
I
I
totally get
would
it.
say so. Goes back and forth for sure.
Yes, we used to have a Jack Russell Terrier, and I loved him. He's so sweet. But when we first got him, he was a complete spaz, and my husband would point at him and say, "You bring no redeeming value to this home. No value." It's like, yes, he does. He's very cute, but
He's cute and he's sweet.
he was a spaz. He was a complete spaz, but he fit in well with my
Oh, that's
boys.
great.
So there you go.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So Connor, tell us something unique about you, or something that made you smile this week.
Oh man, that's a tough one. So we did actually. Obviously, we just came to a close in the third quarter. So one thing it's one of my favorite parts of the job is getting to kind of we do reviews a little bit differently at the end of the quarter. We start off and get through the super basic things really quick. Hey, you're doing great at this. Let's work on this. Let's set some goals. All the details of the job. We kind of get that out of the way quick, but then we actually get to have some intentional time with our team and get to hear how their their home life's going, and really get to spend some intentional time there, and see what we can work on, and kind of get things set up moving on to the next quarter. So that's always one of my favorite things, and that certainly made me smile getting some intentional time one-on-one with our teammates this week. Man, we've got an incredible team, so that always makes it really fun. So that's been a highlight of the week for sure.
Okay, it doesn't surprise me at all, Natanya, that Connor, Mr. Sunshine, Mr. the nicest guy in the room, wherever you are, I would argue that to my death, that his favorite thing that made him smile this week was getting to love on his people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's the best. You're too kind. Certainly the more time you spend with me, probably the less you'll want to defend that. But but anyway, yeah, it's the best. I mean, it's all them. It has nothing to do with me. We just have assembled a phenomenal team of people who are really competent at their jobs, but even better people, and that's what makes those these one-on-one meetings so special. But yeah, it's been great.
He's doing it again, Natanya. He's just being nice.
He's deflecting to his niceness.
He's deflecting the niceness.
Oh yeah, you guys are making me blush. I'm glad I didn't turn the camera on yet. But
there you go.
Connor, why don't you tell us a little bit more about what your amazing team does at Premier Blinds? Tell us about what makes you guys different.
Yeah, so we like Tracy said, kind of in the introduction, we really pride ourselves on being very detail oriented, and being able to execute some really complex jobs. And I know if you're not super ingrained in construction or design, or in the shades industry, which I'm assuming it's a pretty small group of us, but some of these jobs can get pretty complex. There are limitations of size of shades we can go, and different depths of windows. There are a lot of things that can complicate jobs, but we execute on a really high level, and have a really good eye for detail, and we're able to execute that from the second you're first consulted all the way through to installation. And so I think on an operational level, that's super important. Just, hey, we can execute on any job, but more on kind of the personal level, which we really like to establish and maintain good relationships with clients. I think one thing that our team does just extraordinarily well is, we really place a high emphasis on making our clients feel valued, and trying to make their lives a little bit easier during, what is commonly a pretty stressful time, whether it's building a house, remodeling a house, moving, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I think those two things, being really detail oriented and having a high level of execution, kind of paired along with the personal touch of hey, we want to get to know you, get to know your family, and especially a lot of the times we'll have little doggy helpers following us around the house, and I think the relationships along with being really detail oriented is kind of our big differentiating factor.
So tell us about how Premier started. I love this story.
Oh yeah, this is a great one, and it's certainly a huge part of it is my mom kind of had a dream. She was a school teacher for years and years, and her whole side of the family is fairly entrepreneurial, and she had a lot of encouragement from my dad and from her brothers to go out and start a business, and it just so happened to be shades. I don't think there was anything super specific about the shades that she loved, but it was just kind of one of those things that kind of fell into her lap. And so she bought a magnet and had a little logo made up for herself. And I think the logo is actually a hand-me-down from her brother that she just changed from Premier developers and builders to Premier Blinds, that's a funny detail. I don't think I've shared that yet in Cultivate, but she bought a magnet, threw it on the side of her minivan, and drove to Stillwater from Perry, which is where we were living at the time, and just walked up to a job site and asked the builder, hey, I'm starting a company. Can I bid on the shades for your house? And it was a man named Steve Carpenter, and they're still friends to this day. But 20 years later, we've treated people really well. Kind of maintained some of those values that I said before, which is, we've gotten to know people and treated them well, and tried to do right by our word and by what we promise. And it just kind of spread really, really organically. And over the past, I don't know, 5 or so years, we've really hit kind of the next level of expansion, with bringing on additional members to our team and additional installers, things of that nature. And it's been a very organic journey. Not to say it didn't have speed bumps along the way, but that was kind of the blinds portion. My mom spearheaded it, and my dad would go install stuff when he got done with his first career of the day. And then I guess the flooring aspect of it's a little bit different. Back in 2008, my dad was a longtime employee at Ditch Witch in Perry. And back in 2008, there's the big market downturn. They had some early retirement packages that they were offering, and he hopped on that really quick, and basically started the flaked flooring and epoxy side of things. And really, he kind of helped establish that market. And we've had a ton of local partners that have made that possible. But I probably don't have time to name all the people that kind of helped us get that started, because it is a pretty complex process, and definitely took some refining. But yeah, it's been it's been totally through their hard work and sweat equity that all of this has been made possible. But it's just kind of started off with a dream and a whole lot of drive. And 20 years later, here we are with we're going to be in close to 1,000 homes this year. So it's been a tremendous journey that's totally made possible by their devotion to their work and to their team and to their clients.
Nice. I love anything with a female founder is going to make us happy, right, Natanya? Because
oh yeah,
love to see, yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
we love to see women out there doing their thing, multitasking. But that's a great thing, I think. And you mentioned this during our sessions. Listeners, during each one of our sessions, our fellows do a 3-minute pitch and talk about their venture, and we help them refine their process, because at our last session they present to the community. We invite everyone in, and they get to hear about what they've learned and how they've grown, and about their venture. And you share this every time, that you're going to be around, right? You're a family business. You've been around for 20 years. So when my dog chews on my blinds or my kids decide to take Sharpies to things, which they do at times, you're going to be there to help us.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and that's one of the things that with me moving back, we've really placed a heavy emphasis on what I call a local blue chip, someone who's a cornerstone of the community, someone who's been around, going to be around, and hopefully maintain that reputation of we're going to take care of you. We're not always in this for the bottom line. We're in this to provide an excellent service and an excellent product and. Um, you know, I think that speaks volumes to a community when it's like, hey, we're here to stay and we're here to take care of you. So
Absolutely. That's a big deal because that doesn't always happen, you know? And just because you buy
certainly,
your blinds at Lowe's, and chances are you're not 4 years from now, you're going to walk in and not the same person's going to be there to help you. Tell us, Connor, about Cultivate. We're almost at the end of our session. You're in cohort 3. We go for 16 weeks. We meet 8 times during that. And we only have 2 more sessions left, which is hard to believe.
no, I
It's
know.
crazy. But tell us about how Cultivate has been beneficial to you.
Yeah, so this is the part that I had to really refine and shave down because I feel like you could ask me that in any given week and my answer would probably change, right? I mean, I feel like every week we come and it's like, we're just filled with you know, advice and knowledge from so many people who have been in our shoes, who have done this, from a lot of different angles, and that's been really great. But I think the biggest thing that I would say for me is being kind of the young owner of a company is that it gives me confidence, right? Seeing other people that are going out on limbs and taking risks in order to maximize what God has blessed them in their vision, right? I think being surrounded by that energy and a lot of people who are bold with what they've been given and really trying to maximize it has been a big portion of really kind of what's driven me throughout my time in Cultivate. And I think kind of moving on from that, the speakers we brought in and the mentors have been really phenomenal, and they've offered to go the extra mile. Hey, I'll buy you lunch. Hey, I'll take you for coffee. All of those things. Everybody's so willing to spend their time and kind of pour into all of us, which is the next generation of entrepreneurs, and just having access to those resources, both the people and the wisdom that they bring to the table has really made a massive impact in my life, and I can tell even over the past couple of months how that's trickled down to the company as well, and the culture that we're creating and the vision that we're creating to be a redemptive venture. So it's been an incredible journey. I'm actually really disappointed. We only have, I think, like what you said, 2 sessions left. So
Yeah.
that's I'm getting a little nostalgic already. I need to hold off on that until we're done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it goes fast. It really does. But I'm glad that you see the value in the relationships because we really feel like that's our secret sauce. I mean, we have great curriculum. We bring in great food.
Oh
Our
yeah.
staff loves on people, but it's the relationships that are created that we really pride ourselves on. Each session we bring in anywhere from 3 to 12 subject matter experts on whatever topic we're covering or focusing on that day, and our fellows get to hear from them in a panel setting where they can ask questions, but they also get one-on-one time with them. And then, as Connor said, they're like, "Hey, let's go grab a coffee," so they get to have an ongoing relationship as well, and it comes down to people, right? I mean, that, Connor. That's your whole business is loving
100%.
on people, and that's
100%.
it. And this creating those relationships that that you can call them up and say, "I'm struggling with this," and that they would be able to have an answer for that. So I'm glad that you've seen that benefit.
Oh, 100%. And yeah, it's great having those 30-minute conversations with the mentors, but I think it's another confidence building thing, speaking with all these people who have been, massively successful, whatever their, their venture, their past may be. But hearing, hey, I'm in your corner. I believe in you. I believe in your vision. Go do it. Let me know how I can help. All of those things, just, it's a snowballing effect of confidence in what we're doing. And yeah, it's been phenomenal.
It makes a difference to have people in your corner.
100%. 100%.
Connor, can you tell us, and mostly the listeners, what is the next call to action? What can we do to help you, to help Premier Blinds? What do you want? What do you need?
Yeah, yeah, and this has been one of the trickier parts, which I didn't anticipate it being, a tricky aspect of the process. But I'm in this cohort with a bunch of people. Some of them are asking for money, some are asking for to spread awareness, and this was kind of the hardest thing for me. And I think I'm finally in a good spot to answer it. But I think number one, if you know of designers or builders, contractors, and anybody kind of in that space that is looking to partner with us on any jobs, I mean, that's obviously great. We want to get in, get our foot in the door with the right people who are working on those cool projects and who are doing those big things where they need some expertise and need someone to make the process a little bit simpler on them. That's number one, right? That's kind of the operational task, right? But number two, just for me personally as a business owner, I want to be introduced to people who have done this, right? Who have taken these smaller companies and scaled them, who have built big operating and service companies, and who have kind of established that playbook of here's how you love on your employees, here's how you execute on the jobs, here's how you create efficiencies, here's how you continue to maintain that high level of service even in periods of heavy growth, right? Getting in the door and building relationships with people who have really paved the way in that sense is a big thing, and that's something that I've just kind of come to terms with this past week after speaking with Lance Humphreys about that. So yeah, I think those two things in conjunction with each other. I mean, we're always looking for cool new projects to work on, and I'm always looking for people to kind of who have been in my shoes before to kind of help guide me and also keep me sane throughout this process. So both of those things, I think if we can get those two, we're in a good spot. So.
It's always good to have a peer who can just go, that's totally normal.
Yeah.
What you're feeling is normal, or to go,
Yeah.
you may need to think about this, or, just to
Yeah.
have somebody to bounce some ideas off. So that's great.
100%.
So
100%.
Listeners will have Connor's information down below. So if you have any connections for him, or maybe you're building a house like I am and you're going to need some blinds down the road, you want to reach out to
Yeah.
Premier, he'll hook you up.
Absolutely.
We'll hook you up. So Connor, if you could draw or put words on a kitty cat motivational poster that you could give out to our guests, because you are Mr. Sunshine. That's what we call you, Mr. Sunshine. What would you leave us with today?
Well, so this is such a cheesy line, and I've been joking with my team about it. The line that we've been saying around the office is that the traffic is really light when you go the extra mile, right? It's a great
Nice.
way for us to set ourselves apart, and that's ultimately kind of what we hang our hat on is going the extra mile because of all the supply chain issues and manufacturer turnover we've had, right? We really want to be known for sticking around and making sure the job gets done, regardless of how long it takes. So, and also just an encouragement out, to everybody else out there that, that's one thing that our clients have told us. Hey, you've stuck around, you stuck with us. I had a client, I want to say about a month ago, who literally broke down in tears after we got their stuff installed because it had been such a long process. And they said, this man started tearing up and gave me a hug. He's an older man, and he was like, we consider you a friend because you've been in our house so much trying to get all of our stuff right. But I don't think that's as much of a testament to the the product's taking forever to get in. I think it's more of a testament of who our team is and how we love on our clients. So two parts there. Just go the extra mile because it's the right thing to do for your clients, but also that's the stuff that they'll remember. So it's paying itself back already. So
wow, that's a great story, Connor, because that's what we're trying to create with Cultivate. Is we're trying to create this redemptive culture all over Oklahoma City, and that somebody could be moved to tears by how much their blinds person cared for them. I mean, that's it. That is just living the life of Jesus every day out in the world.
Yeah. And it's certainly not always easy. I mean, it's great to highlight some of these stories, but I mean, in the midst of that, when we were 6 months in and had their stuff replaced, twice already, it wasn't all sunshine and daisies, right? But yeah, it's people care about their blinds, but they care even more about how you treat them and not just pushing them aside and saying, hey, we're on to the next big sale or the next big job. Hey, we're here for all of our clients, past, future, and present. So yeah, we're loving it. It's great.
You're doing the work, Connor. I so appreciate that you care about people, because that's what it comes down to. So, Natanya, tell our listeners, if they're out there, for-profit, nonprofit, maybe listening to Connor going, I could use some of that. How can they hear more about being a part of Cohort 4?
Well, we have more information about Cohort 4 all over our social media. You can go to Instagram, it's in our bio. Facebook, it's all over our posts. Or you can visit our website, that's www.cultivate.city. Submit an interest form, and we'll be in contact right then. So, yeah.
Yeah, because we're about relationships too. Yep. So we'll get on there and we'll send it to you. And if you need blinds, or you're a construction company or a designer, you can look down in our comment section and you can find more details about how to connect with Connor and his amazing team at Premier Blinds. So Connor, thanks for joining us today. I appreciate you taking the time. I know how crazy busy you are all over the place.
Oh, no, not at all. It's been my pleasure, and I appreciate you guys for having me on and always taking such good care of us when we meet. It's a blessing that I certainly look forward to every couple of weeks. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. We love it. Listeners, thank you again for joining us for another Cultivate OKC podcast. If you are interested in creating a redemptive culture inside your four walls and outside your four walls, we would love to help be a part of that process. So as Natanya said, go to cultivate.city and find out more. We hope you are encouraged to hear about how OKC founders are creating a redemptive culture in their community. If you would like to learn more about the accelerator, go to www.cultivate.city. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We will catch you next time, and thank you for listening.